Hey Sophie, how you doing?
I'm all right, Sam. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good, good, good. It's always interesting these always have a little pre-chat before, and it's actually
Yep.
completely changed the angle of the video we were going to record today.
Yeah.
Um, so you met Sophie on the last one. If you didn't see that video, do check it out. A bit more intro about who Sophie is, what she does, and what her team does at your marketing department. So the hot one today is love and fear in marketing. And
Yes.
this is, I'll just give a bit of intro to this. I put something on LinkedIn the other day about Marmite. I absolutely love Marmite. I probably can't see it from here. I've got stacks of jars and mugs and all sorts of things to do with it. And they play on love and hate Marmite, right?
Yeah.
You either love it or hate it. No one kind of doesn't mind Marmite. And I kind of love that they capitalize on it. And so, that got some great interaction on LinkedIn because people are, oh my God, that's disgusting. Ugh, ugh. Or like, wow, I need to try this. So the idea was, I drink Marmite a bit like Rob Bovril, when the winter nights are drawing in, it's that nice little toasty pip morning, for me at least anyway. Um, but yeah, we got talking about we've both working on scorecards. If you haven't looked at a score app, do check it out. Uh,
Wow.
it's really, really good. And interestingly enough, and I'm happy talking about this, that looking back on ours now, it's a little bit wishy-washy. It's a little bit nicey poo. And I need to make it more driven on, okay, I'm really on board with this, I love it, or shit, we're not doing that. I've got to do that. And I think
Yeah.
you've got to be bold in your messaging. So I've waffled a bit, Sophie.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Well, it's been an interesting one. So I will tell the story in that my team, I wanted to score app. It's a great lead magnet. Really, really strong for anyone who wants to do it for the marketing. And so I want to do one, practice what you preach. And I put one together and it was all lovely and I was really proud of it and showed my team and they went, hmm. And I kind of went, oh. But my team, particularly Hannah, is very sales driven. So that's her background. Rather than marketing, it's sales. And she just went, everyone's gonna feel rubbish about that. And we need to relook at it. And it's all stuff you know about, but I don't have a clue. I mean, I come from a less marketing background and I don't have a clue about half of this. So I'm just going to
Mm,
feel rubbish. So I think it's been really interesting about, well, for me, about the difference between sales and marketing. It's been
yeah.
really putting it in, and the fact that at marketing we tend to sort of, particularly within our own businesses, I think when you're on the outside, it's much easier. So we've just got one signed off for a client. Very excited. That's how this conversation started, and it is all about driving the sale, driving the sale, driving the sale. And when you do it off of your own marketing, you're going, oh, I haven't driven the sale.
Mm,
Well, I haven't made people feel good about what it is. So it is a really interesting one. And I do think with messaging, it's like, where do you go? Is it the fear? Is it the, oh, or is it the, oh, yeah, I feel like that? Because
mm,
I have a lot of clients who will go, I can't say that because that's making everyone feel rubbish.
mm.
So I think it's quite a brave move with Marmite as to
Yeah,
the fact that they do just openly go, either people will hate it. But what's interesting about that is all from customer knowledge. So it's all from customer
absolutely.
understanding the customer.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's again why we come around to why messaging is so important. Yeah, so it's been I'm having to redo all my score app.
And I think, what, this is a really interesting thing is marketing and sales have obviously huge overlap, but are two very different things. In my eyes, and you'll probably tell me otherwise, Sophie, marketing is attract you're the flower attracting the bees to come to its thing. The sales
Yeah,
is then taking that and winning the business. But
yeah.
also, gone, okay, go for it.
Carry on, carry
Yeah.
on.
But actually they've got to work in harmony.
Yeah,
They've got to be in sync, otherwise it just doesn't work. I think with our score app, we when we first launched it, we got some good interaction. Maybe it's a bit complicated. Maybe it's a bit too jargony. I think this is one thing you were talking
mm,
about is I know it, so I'm trying to find the answers, but to a lot of people, I don't know what value proposition is or whatever like that, or
no,
what is this stuff. So not that we've got to dumb it down, we just got to talk to people in their own language. Uh,
yeah. And
And
that's,
give them the opportunity to connect with it, right?
yeah, no, absolutely. And the sales and marketing, I think it's so difficult, that juxtaposition. If you're in a big organization, then they are very separate and they tend not to talk, which I think is a bit of a shame. But certainly within smaller business, I'm meeting people who are like salespeople over marketing. Now, salespeople very, very, very focused on the numbers. And for me, that's not quite right. But at the same time, some marketing people are far too fluffy and
Mm.
not actually getting down to the grip. So it's trying to find that balance within
Yeah.
everything that we do, because, we're not helping corporates, we're helping those small to medium-sized businesses who actually need the sales. I'm a big reader of all marketing theory, and the fact that brand should be 60% of what you do and 40% should be what we call activation, so the sales
Mm.
driver.
Mm.
And that's great if you've got £1 million budgets.
Yeah.
But what I'm reading now is much more about the fact that actually when you're in a small business, it's got to be activation. So us as marketers, we need to just remember this is about sales.
Mm.
Um, Not everything's about sales, because if you do everything on sales, to be honest, you're just getting false.
Mm.
You switch that off, and nothing happens. As in, you start to lose sales. So there is still that balance we've got to do with everything that we
Absolutely.
do,
It's
and
yeah.
that's
It's visibility, I guess, is just I kind of feel at the minute you've got to be everywhere doing everything in some shape or form.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think
Yeah.
social media. I mean, people go. I mean, we all hate social media, but we all have to do it to keep visibility.
Yeah.
And it is not the driver, however. I watched Tonic. I watched a LinkedIn video on Tonic, and their pitch is that they are a social media driven business. So
Mm.
everything is social media. They don't do anything but social media, and they've got 20 million views.
Mm.
That's great, and that is how they've done their business, but that is not how you build business through
Mm.
marketing.
Mm.
Um, but that's, an aside.
Yeah, I think everything I see on social media at the minute is I'm an agency owner. It's a lot of the fear stuff, like are you stuck at 10K, 20K, 50K months? Do you want to do
Oh,
this?
yeah.
Are you driving this? And I do click on these things and like, yeah, how do you double your revenue and that kind of thing? And that's the fear aspect, right?
Yeah.
Is
Well,
and and I
yeah.
think, yeah, I guess it's typically more the consumer brands I see that are on the love aspect of, a desirable product, or we love how they did this. And for me, I mean, look, I've got a foot in both camps kind of thing. I
Yeah.
think I love what you're about. I love what you're doing. I want to work with you. But also like, yeah, like I'm worried about this. I need to solve this. So I've got something
Yeah.
to solve.
Well, if you don't have a problem to solve, then you'll never get
And who
bored.
doesn't have a problem to solve?
Yeah,
Right.
everyone has a problem to solve, and
Yeah.
they all solve it in their own way. And that's why we, as marketing companies, it's why marketing's so hard for anyone
Yeah.
who's outside of it, because there's so many people doing different things. It's like, how do
Mm.
I work it out? Which is, yeah, so it's kind of so important, and and to understand that it's a long-term thing.
It is.
You
It is.
cannot do 10K, increase your revenue by 10K. Well, you probably can if you increase your prices, but you still got to find the people who pay that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Nothing is overnight.
Exactly. Yeah. I'd say at least 3 to 6 months. At least,
At
maybe longer.
least.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know, at least, yeah.
Yeah.
And because, and yeah, the problem is it can cost a lot, but
Yeah. Yeah.
get the right suppliers, then you'll be
Absolutely.
great.
Absolutely. So I think, yeah, really, but my takeaway from this particular conversation is simplify our score app
Yeah.
and have a clear driver. We may even do sort of A/B testing, one with the fear angle, one with the love angle, so just
Yeah,
see how
no,
they
that'd be
play. You
cool.
got to try these things out, right? So
Yeah, you have. Yeah, definitely.
excellent. All right. Nice one. Thanks, Sophie.
That's
Look
a
forward to catching
pleasure.
up next time. All
Let's see
right.
you
Bye
later.
for now.
Bye.
Bye.